Hello everybody, welcome back to Planet X News. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel. It is July 19th, 2017. And just a heads up folks, we're going to be looking at more solar unrest as we have a very large coronal hole that is moving towards the Earth. Now this will not be directly Earth facing. However, there will be an increase in the solar winds beginning on July 21st. Now folks, if you remember, once the solar winds are impacting the Earth, it does take several days for these heavily charged particles to penetrate the Earth, therefore increasing the chances of earthquakes and volcanoes. Now I've been watching this very closely. I've been watching also the sunspot AR2665. As it moves towards the back side of the sun, it will not pose any type of a threat to us at this point. However, this coronal hole here will definitely increase our solar winds over the next several days, so we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this. Now I just wanted to move over here real quick, and spaceweather.com is also reporting on the same subject. Northern coronal hole, a hole in the sun's atmosphere, has opened up and is spewing solar wind into space. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory, the SDO, is monitoring the structure. And as you can see here on this photograph that came in from the SDO, you can see how large this coronal hole is. It actually joined a coronal hole right at the northern surface of the sun, right up here. We're going to go ahead and read a little further, and it just states that this is a coronal hole, CH as it's signed on as, a region where the sun's magnetic field pulls back and allows solar wind to escape. A stream of solar wind flowing from this hole is expected to reach Earth on July 21st, bringing a 40% chance of geomagnetic activity. Well folks, I'm going to be quite honest with you. We're not too worried about the geomagnetic situation, power outages, things of that nature, cell phone interruption, GPS interruption. What we're worried about is the earthquake situation, because a lot of you that are following us, we do keep track of the earthquake situation. It's all tied in together, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday we saw all kinds of earthquakes. We have a magnitude 4 up here in Alaska, but yesterday there was a multitude of earthquakes up in this region, all along the San Andreas Fault here in California. But something that came to light early yesterday, and I just kept monitoring it as it happened, were a string of earthquakes in Yellowstone. And these were not the little micro quakes either. And as I'm going to pan right in here so we can take a look at this, these all occurred right in Yellowstone. 14 hours ago, magnitude 2.88, very shallow, less than 10 kilometers. 2.83, and this one, magnitude 3.61, again, very shallow. There was a small quake here, I think a magnitude 1, and another small quake here, magnitude 2.19. So, keeping an eye on that situation over here in Yellowstone, that is kind of alarming if you ask me. Moving over to the other side of the world, down in New Zealand, magnitude 4.4, the depth, very deep. This was off of the northern coast of New Zealand. The depth was 435 kilometers deep. Now also up here off the coast of Russia and the tip of the Aleutian Islands off the coast of Alaska, a major swarm of earthquakes yesterday. We're going to go ahead and zoom into this and see what has occurred over the past 12 hours. Magnitude 5.1, relatively shallow. Magnitude 5, again, very shallow. Magnitude 4, again, very shallow. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on what is occurring in these regions There was a lot of activity over here yesterday. Magnitude 5.2 south of Japan, magnitude 4.2 in Afghanistan. Very, very shallow. What we're seeing, folks, is a lot of shallow earthquakes. Magnitude 5, depth 10 kilometers. There was also a lot of activity over here in the Mediterranean between Turkey, Greece, and Italy. It doesn't show up on this map. It shows up on the European map. But we're going to go ahead real quick and take a look at the GOES satellite. And this is an X-ray of the sun. You've seen this many times before here on my channel. This gives us a better view of what is actually occurring on the sun. And as you can see, we're not just dealing with the visible coronal hole that is nested right up here towards the northern region of the sun. We're being affected by all of this. This dark area is absolutely huge. It almost encompasses 1/3 of the face of the sun, which is facing us. This will increase our solar wind speeds and the impact. Now we're going to take a look real quick at the solar wind predictor. And this is what we're looking at for the next several days. Now, as you can see, Earth right here, where my cursor is, this small green dot, you're going to see will be impacted on or about the 21st of June. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stop this. I'm going to move the slider back by hand, and we'll show you exactly when the impact should be. Now, we should start feeling this around midnight UTC time going into July 21st. See how long we'll be in it. That's one full day. And by the end of the 22nd, going into July 23rd, that stream, that wave will be past us. Now, as you can see by the coloration here, it's going to be pretty intense. Now, they're predicting a plasma density will rise going into the 21st and then drop back off close to the 23rd. And also right here, the radial velocity, dealing with the speed. You see a big drop off right here. But then you see a very high rise in the solar wind as it starts impacting the Earth. That will begin, well, I would say halfway through the day on July 21st. And that will continue, as you can see, the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th. There will be a steady, sustained solar wind coming in. I don't have any more information past July 24th. But again, we'll keep a very, very close eye on it. I wanted to bring all of you up to speed on what is going on. And definitely, we will see more of an increase in earthquake activity. You know, we had some pretty big earthquakes preceding this CME. You know, that was a big concern. And now, just a few days later, we're really still not out of the woods. And once again, we're going to be faced directly with this large coronal hole. Now, let me show you something. As this starts to turn, you're going to see right here, all of this surface area here. It's really not the surface area, but like you would just call this the coronal covering here. Okay, just in layman's terms. You could start to see how it is dissipating. If you can see that on your screen, it goes from the lighter colors of purple to the darker colors. That is a telltale sign that this coronal hole here, that's kind of shaped like a triangle at this point, is now getting much larger. Now, this is not directly Earth facing yet. Give it another 12 to 24 hours and we'll see how much more dissipation occurs here. If that does occur, as it looks like it will, everything will change. All of the predictor models will change. Everything will change. They will actually increase. There are no sunspots currently on the sun either to report on. When I was over here at spaceweather.com, our disk is basically empty, which is a good sign. As you can see, no sunspots to report on. But again, we're going to be watching this AR 2665. As it rolls around the backside of the sun, it should be coming back around within the next 3 weeks. And we'll see what type of activity is still occurring on that sunspot. So we're looking at some most definitely, some situations here with the sun impacting the Earth over the next several days. We'll keep you informed on everything that is occurring. This is Scott from Planet X News and the Nibiru channel. Thank you for watching.